Hello everyone, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Ultimate General Civil War. This is part 16 of our Confederate Let's Play of the Grand Campaign, playing through as the Southern Forces. In our last video, we fought and won the Battle of Cedar Mountain, and we're now moving into the Raid on Manassas, the Manassas Depot battle, which precludes, I can't even think of the words, it's the final battle before the Battle of Second Bull Run, or Second Manassas, which will come in the following video. But in this video, we are looking at the Raid on Manassas. I've already taken the time to go ahead and basically fix up our forces and make us ready for the next battle. It's just a matter of going in and fighting it. Now, this is all taken from a live stream of just actually a couple of days ago, so some of the commentary is me talking back and forth with the audience. Just keep that in mind, as usual, over the last couple of videos. But I hope you guys all enjoy, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, and let me know your thoughts below as always. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and step out and allow you to just jump back into the stream midway through what was about an hour-long stream. All right, guys, thanks. All right, guys, I think we are ready to move along to the next battle in the Second Manassas campaign. No better off around. No better a half around. I don't know what that means, but okay. Second Manassas. Yeah, nope. Let's go to the Manassas Depot. This is our second minor battle of the Second Bull Run campaign. You can see here it's fought on August 27th, so about 20 days after our last fight. Our latest reports describe a massive federal supply depot at Manassas Junction, guarded only by a small garrison. You will lead General Trimble's brigade. His regiments have taken up positions in the woods and are ready to commence the assault before daybreak. More reinforcements are on the way to support if needed. I'm guessing this is the battle that the Black Hats Brigade takes part in. Well, actually, historically, no, that was the beginning of the Battle of Second Manassas, wasn't it? So this is the one where they raid the depot and then like they burn the supplies and you can smell bacon like miles away or whatever. All right, we're going to use the second corps. Actually, it doesn't look like we get to pick our corps. It looks like we just get troops assigned to us. Okay, so we've got 7,000 soldiers assigned to us. Doesn't look like any cavalry. They all look like infantry. Maybe one or two cavalry brigades. Yeah. So let's go. I will lead General Trimble's regiments. Okay. So we've got two depots here. Actually, this is like the supply depot mission from early in the game. We've got some cavalry, it looks like. We've got some infantry. We've got to capture these depots. So I guess we'll see what happens here. I've got a skirmisher brigade, two cavalry brigades, and then 4 infantry brigades. By the looks of it, need to capture all 4 depots. Can you charge those guys? You've got carbines. Oh, they're running away. They're running away, those cowards. They're running! Oh, jerks. Man, we lost more. Lame. Actually, the other nice thing is because none of these are our troops, I don't really care what happens to these guys. I could butcher them all. You know what, cavalry, why don't you go over here? Damn Yankee cavalry delaying us, doing probably their job. Federal skirmishers here. Did they add night? No, I think that's been in there for a while. Could be wrong, but I don't think that's new. Skirmishers on the flanks. Alright. We're just gonna frickin' overrun them as soon as we can. We got 600 men there. Skirmishers, move forward. I can't see shit and everyone's moving slow. Stupid woods. Why don't you dismount? Alright, I don't think this gives them too much cover. I could be wrong. My cavalry's all on the north flank. Why don't I actually use them against... These guys are moving so slow. I don't know how long this battle's gonna take. I don't really have a good sense. Try and use my skirmishers and my cavalry here to drive the enemy, or at least hold them back. You can see we're using an entire brigade to hold back some skirmishers on our flank. I'm trying to charge these guys with cavalry, but they're not armed with melee weapons, so they're not going to be the most effective. Although they are routing them pretty darn good. Of course, now they're getting their flank exposed to these guys shooting from the depot. Enemy infantry. Where are the enemy infantry? Okay, the 6th Virginia Cavalry is kind of done. I don't know if charging... Oh, are these guys still alive? Hey, they're still around. I don't know if charging them with infantry was smart. Oh, they're running away again. Alright. Well, we're inflicting casualties with our supporting infantry that are firing volleys into these guys. We've got some supplies of our own. We just need to capture these 2 depots. That's our only mission. Meanwhile, these guys are running away, but at least they're pulling back Yankee cavalry with them. I'm guessing there's going to be some amount of Yankee counterattack at some point that we have to hold against. But not quite sure on that. Oh, mount up, actually. Alright, so they're running. Our cavalry is back here. I don't remember this battle as the Confederates. I remember it playing in essentially the same map as the Yankees. General Early has arrived with his regiments. Great, General Early. Glad you could show up. Yeah, there's got to be a Yankee counterattack coming because we've got too many men to be basically what we're facing. So why don't you stay back there? You guys advance here. Or, better yet, go straight for the objective. We've got 700 men in those forts. Alright, shoot a point-blank volley into them. Nice! Alright, double quick. On the run! On the double quick! Alright, Early's brigades are coming up. We're going to move the artillery in support here. We're going to move 2 brigades of his coming up here to the northern fort. The southern troops are all going to advance this way directly on the southern fort. Our 21st North Carolina is going to try and march in here behind the 12th Ohio. And Early, don't get yourself killed. Okay. More Union troops spotted. Yep, just like I said. Point-blank volley by the 15th. Just broke the 12th, or at least drove them back. Meanwhile, our 21st North Carolina is trying to charge into these forts, which they've now done. Secured the depot. And now the Yankees probably have to melee us, I imagine, because we've got the fort. And we've got a brigade firing support into their flank. Okay. Very good. I'll dismount your cavalry. You guys also, everybody I guess gets good cover if they're inside this fort, so why not stay inside it? The enemy's meleeing us. Fire a volley at these horsemen here. Point blank range, you can do it. There you go. Alright. Federal reinforcements are showing up. Our own troops are hanging in there. Hanging in there. Alright, Early, get up there. Give them some morale support. Get that artillery up there as well. And then get into that fort. These guys all are, I feel like everyone's marching super slow. I don't know if the terrain is just that much that difficult. It doesn't seem like it. Oh, shit. Get in the fort. 21st Virginia. Just got, not defeated, but... Get your boys there. Lots of enemy are charging. The 2nd Virginia just drove that attack off, at least temporarily. Okay. Alright, we've still got an hour 45 left. What supplies? Nice. Captured enemy supplies that we're about to lose. Good job, cavalry. Maybe it'll at least disrupt the enemy attack on you. Artillery's all there. Everybody's inside those walls. 15th Alabama, get in there. Get into the fight, boys. Who are you all sitting? Everybody's blocked. Not everybody. A lot of people are blocked. I don't need you charging. Don't you get aim? Oh, I just ordered you to charge. Because I hit the wrong button. Alright, probably taking... In retrospect, trying to occupy the fort is less wise than just trying to fight the enemy and drive them off. They're not in the fort, so they don't get the bonus. Just shoot volleys at these guys. I don't know how... Trimble was inside the fort, so maybe artillery or maybe infantry or I don't know. Trimble's right here still, so maybe one of the units had Trimble as their commander. I don't know. Don't ask me silly questions. How did Trimble get wounded? Psh. Georgia, get up there. Early. Get over here. None of these soldiers matter to me. I don't care who gets wounded or killed as long as we win the battle. These are free guns. Whether they're recovered guns from our own guys who get killed, or whether they're captured guns, it doesn't really matter, right? Like they're guns. Guns are guns. Okay, drove back that brigade. How about you guys halt and just fire a volley into their rear? Do that quickly. These walls do make you fight kind of weird in weird formations, because it does seem like your soldiers are kind of influenced by them. Alright, enemy skirmishers. In melee, really? .36 Ohio's retreating. Just fire a volley. No. Just halt. Just shoot at them. Wait, you guys are on your feet. Don't do that. Troops in the north are suffering more. Let's put a brigade into the actual fort. Alright, so... Oh, awesome. Thanks for the sponsorship, dude. Thank you, Clandif, for the sponsorship. That's awesome. I appreciate that. All right, so we've, I think, managed to weather the storm here in the south. This brigade's being pushed back. We've got another brigade. Move over here. We've got some cavalry in the rear. We've got some captured supplies we've taken. The northern side feels a little bit more dubious, mainly because the enemy has a lot of brigades around here. We don't. And, I think that's the bulk of my story here. It just feels like we've got sufficient manpower to thwart the southern offensives. In the north, I'm not so sure. Now, if worse comes to worse, we can move some of these guys north, and that's what I'm actually going to do with this Virginia brigade here. I'm going to move these guys up. Can these guys come into the rear? Alright. Hey, Clandiff, you got the new cool sponsorship color behind your name. You've got the little icon, the channel icon also. Alright, 2 brigades are running away. Just what I want. We got about 1,000 Yankees up here and about 600 men to deal with it. Of course, I've also got a battery of artillery, but they're not doing much. It's gotta be close to canister range, right? Case range. Alright, well. Georgian brigades coming up to help. We've got these 2 brigades. Hopefully we'll recover some morale and move in to support as well. Meanwhile, 58th Virginia, we're going to move them into the fort. North Carolina, we're going to advance. Virginia, we're going to advance. These guys are behind these New Yorkers. Maybe we can charge them from behind. They don't have sabers, so I don't know how useful that'll be. But need to kind of shift some troops north because that's where the real risk is here. You can see those guys were just firing canister that I was complaining about. But that they weren't firing it is what I was complaining about. And we drove back the 74th New York. Also driven back the 30th Ohio now by the looks of it. And we've got over 1,000 troops rushing north from the south. Meanwhile, we'll kind of keep pushing out away from the southern objective as well. Obviously, if we can drive them back, and we can get them away from the fort. And if they're away from the fort, then the risk of the fort falling by default kind of drops off. So things with these extra reinforcements that have arrived here sort of on the southern edge feel like they've helped stem the tide. 13th Virginia was critical. That artillery battery fired a canister volley right when I was kind of complaining about it. That I think helped salvage it. Total War Germany, yes, there is a War of Rights game coming. Around the naming, I don't know. I think the name's fine. I guess maybe you'll upset some Southerners, but, well, maybe you won't. I don't know. Because rights, I guess, depends on your narrative. Alright. So, I think now we just need to kind of keep pressing. Just keep driving them back. And maybe fight as long as we possibly can, because in this case, literally, no casualty is a bad casualty. Is it bad that I feel like, hey, who cares who dies, right? You get everything from it. You know, your own casualty is a positive in a sense, too. As long as you win the game, you want as many people to die in these kind of battles as possible. When your own troops aren't at risk. Really? Man, this fort sucks. More guys died. And how can I... Well, these are... I've got enough Napoleons right now, I think. Alright. Keep driving them. Drive them back. Alright, I think I destroyed that brigade in the south. I'm just going to kind of advance this way in case there are any enemy troops that we haven't spotted yet. But I think the southern flank is completely clear of enemies. Northern is the only place we've got to worry about anything. And mainly it seems like they're just kind of up on this hill to the north with these woods where they've been really giving us the most trouble. Driving them back pretty comfortably in the center and south of this fort. Oh, nice. These guys are in a nice little wood line. The 72nd New York is in exposed camp position. Discovered some enemy artillery up here. We can shift these guys over here, hopefully to destroy it and maybe capture a few guns. Bring our cavalry in here as well. Maybe we can charge it and melee the guns. Although 15th Alabama's getting a nice little whiff of grape from behind, which not exactly what I was looking for. Alright, so we just destroyed this Yankee brigade, which is marching off with some haste. 72nd New York can't be far behind. They've only got 100 men left. The only functional and kind of worrying brigades are the 36th Ohio and the 23rd Ohio, both over 200 men. Not much else has more than that. These two brigades are now destroyed. So again, we'll swing our forces north because these brigades are routed from the field. And we'll go address this enemy artillery as well. 2nd New York, heavy artillery, so maybe we can capture a few of their guns. Give us some heavies. Have our cavalry go in and charge them for a melee. Although they're actually going to be outnumbered by the gunners. Got enough infantry coming in here, I think, to even the odds. There you go. Routing them from the field, the cavalry did. And they're losing quite a few men. In the north, we're now advancing up a hill line toward these Yankee troops in a strong wooded position. Let's hold one brigade somewhere. Well, these Louisiana boys are artillery. I want to put some troops in the fortifications, just as sort of a precaution. Right, there's actually 3 brigades up here. Meanwhile, the artillery is being whittled away at. I think we can shift more of these troops north. I don't think we need 1,000 men chasing up some treating enemy guns, and I don't think they have anything else down here. Trying to destroy them completely. That's kind of what these guys are doing here. Slowly. You can see that number slowly dropping. Meanwhile, another Yankee brigade routed. Actually, 2 Yankee brigades, or I guess these are probably regiments, given they're giving us state numbers. So just the 1 regiment remaining, the 23rd Ohio of over 500 men. The artillery also looks like it's gone. So, there you go, guys. This is going to be a victory, unless I pull something incredibly stupid. Which I suppose I could do. We're flanked. The enemy still has some artillery over here somewhere. Why don't you go find it? No, we're gonna keep fighting. Let's keep fighting and racking up those kills. Alright. We're flanked. Again, there's enemy artillery coming in from the right over here somewhere. Somewhere in this wood line. You can see the shells streaking on the flank of the 59th or 49th Virginia. Let's win this thing quick. I feel like Cornwallis in that horribly inaccurate Mel Gibson Patriot movie. Ripped the heart out of him. Bayonet charge up the middle. Alright. Let's see here. I just want to destroy these guys. That's my goal. Where are these guns? Why am I not spotting them yet? Are they on the other side of the river, maybe? There are those routing brigades. Not sure where they are. Alright, we're driving the Ohio Brigade back. Oh, there's the artillery. Here we go. Let's go capture us some guns. Oh, another brigade of infantry apparently hiding in the woods back here. Cowards. Alright, go ahead and charge the Ohio artillery. Get these skirmishers up and engaging with them as well as the infantry. More interested in that than really any of the guns. Wasn't the Patriot battle won tactically by the British? I think it's supposed to be a Pyrrhic victory for the British. I think it's modeled anyway after a Pyrrhic victory for the British. The way the movie portrays it is certainly an American victory. But in reality, I believe, yes, it was a tactical victory for the British and strategic for the Americans because the British lost so many casualties. I'm not sure if it was the Battle of... Was it the Battle of Cowpens? I can't remember the name. But there's like a famous image of this courthouse with this soldier with like a sword that he's holding up, and you basically you see them fighting over that same location in the movie. So Total War Germany, yes, I think you're right. Now there's a car alarm going off just outside. Hopefully you guys can't hear that. Good God, from a crying baby upstairs to a car alarm. Audiophiles, have fun. Go after these guns. Destroy them! Hey, Neuhauser, welcome back. We're just trying to kill every last person, including our own troops in this battle, so we can capture as many guns as possible, because none of these troops are ours. We've destroyed all but 2 Yankee regiments here on the field. I think we're about to destroy the 71st New York. We'll try and get to the 23rd Ohio. And we're also finishing off the Federal artillery, which I think we may have actually just finished off. Tortuga Power. Hey. Crying baby. How's your kid doing, by the way? I know you just, was it your first kid you just had? Or correction, I suppose your wife just had? Wounded Union soldiers and cannons being fired. You know. 23rd Ohio. Come on, 7th New York. Why don't you die? Alright, so... By the way, speaking of which, future projects I suppose I can speak to right now while we're mopping up the enemy. We finally got the first save in for a upcoming series with Tortuga Power, who you just saw in the chat, XTRG, and myself. The three of us did a Rule the Waves series about a year ago now, actually maybe a little over a year ago, which is crazy to think it's been that long, where we sort of all took a period of time in the game where we played as France, and we, you know, it was like I got 5 years, Tortuga got 5 years, XTRG got 5 years, and we kind of passed the reins off every 5 years. Well, you know, we're going to be doing a new series here, just starting. XTRG just put his first turn in. We're going to be doing AJOD's, what is it, the War to End All Wars? Is that what it's called? The AJOD World War I game. We're going to be playing that. Tortuga is going to be the Western Entente, so he'll be the French. I will be the Russians, the Eastern Entente, and XTRG will be our nemesis in command of the Prussian legions. No doubt that we will get absolutely trounced by XTRG, as he seems to be somewhat of an expert, not just at AJOD games, but also at that particular game. But it'll be fun, so we'll all die together. I need to get into the game and kind of pick my strategy. We need to do an initial video with Tortuga and myself, kind of talking strategy. I believe XTRG has sent us our first turn just the other day, so we're finally starting to make movement on that. In other news, I don't do a lot of Total War gaming, to be honest, but the new expansion that they just announced, Empire Divided, is really intriguing to me. I actually just bought 4 books on the period of time the game's going to be on, and have been listening to a bunch of Roman lectures on the Great Courses. So I'm planning, and if you're unfamiliar with the Great Courses, they're lectures put together by professors of various disciplines that look at different historical topics. They're like audiobooks, except instead of audiobooks, they're basically lectures, again, like a college classroom. And I'm going to be doing a series when is it Divided Empire? Is that what it's called again? I keep forgetting the name, but the new DLC for Total War Rome 2. I'm going to do a series on that. Again, I haven't done a lot. I did some when Total War Rome 2 came out, but not a ton of that stuff. But I am going to do it mainly because I just want to do like a 20 or 30 episode long series where I just talk about Roman history at that time period. So sort of focusing in on the Rome in crisis, the crisis of the 3rd century, which occurred from 235 AD roughly to around 284 AD with the reign of, I think it was, you pronounce it Diocletian. Total War Rome 2 got a lot of negative reviews when it first came out. I think it's kind of polished itself into a pretty solid game, and the expansion, which comes out on November 30th, I'm really looking forward to, and I'm going to do a long series. Again, they're not really going to be talking about gameplay so much as they're going to be talking about, my historical lectures, if you will. All right, so we won the Battle of Manassas Depot. We lost about 2,600 men, which is fine. None of them are our own. We destroyed 14 enemy guns, 210 cavalry, 5,000 infantry. In terms of goods seized, we rescued almost 1,000 1855 Springfields. This is awesome. These are really good guns, as well as capturing 1,200. So 2,100 Springfields get added to our arsenal. We also captured 2 Napoleon 12-pounders and 3 20-pound Parrott guns. So we're going to have to build a battery around some 20-pound Parrots. Those are awesome guns. 20-pound anything is awesome. And then we captured and rescued a whole bunch of Sharps 1855s and some Hunters. I'm going to sell the Hunters and probably the Sharps for a little bit of cash. Okay. Yep, Cleandif, it's going to be the crisis of the 3rd century. It's going to start with the rule of Aurelian, during the rule of Aurelian, so in 270 AD. I will play it, but as I said, I'm not probably going to talk much about my gameplay. I'm not going to be saying, and now I'm going to attack the right flank here or that. It's much more going to be, here's gameplay, because I'm not great at Total War anyway, and then I'm going to be talking about various topics in history, so I'll be giving sort of historical lectures while playing the game. All right, so we earned the Confederate Officer Star. We also gained an additional 103 recruits from captured prisoners exchange and 3,500 troops because we don't have to replace any of our own troops, as well as $100,000. Unfortunately, in that particular battle, the medicine trait gives me nothing because they weren't my own troops. In any case, I'm almost maxed out on medicine as well, which is awesome. You can see here we have known nothing but victory as we prepare for the Battle of Second Manassas. That will be the next grand battle, if you will. Will I ever play the Twilight Struggle board game off Steam? I have played it. I'm bad at it. I would certainly consider playing it on the channel. I just need to get better at it, and frankly, there's been such a wealth of games coming out the last couple of weeks. I haven't given Field of Glory 2 enough time as I'd like. I'd still like to play a little more Bomber Command. That game is just adorably addicting. And, in addition to that, I also want to give more time, finish this series. I'd like to get back to Strategic Command, I think it was, the World War II strategy game that I played some of but never finished. Heck, I've got a halfway completed Panzer Corps series that I've never gone back to. There's just a lot of stuff out there that I want to be playing, and I just haven't been. 13,000 recruits now in our reserves, $178,000 to improve the weapons of our troops. And that's about where we're at here. We've got some barracks. You can see we've got quite a few officers, but they're mostly lower-ranking officers. All lieutenant colonels pretty much are lower. We've got some wounded officers. 3 brigadier generals will all be coming back to our side at the end of the Manassas battle, as well as, actually 4 brigadier generals, as well as a Colonel Brandon Moore. Okay. 3rd Corps, I don't know if it makes sense to do the 3rd Corps at the Battle of Second Bull Run. Let's take a real quick look here. We don't have enough men to fill the 3rd Corps, but we certainly have enough to give it a good start. So our diversion will be kind of our strongest force. You can see here that'll be our 1st Corps, about 20,000 men. That's going to be fighting the first day's battle and also is going to be responsible for holding off the bulk of the Yankee troops. That's going to be difficult. That's going to be a tough assignment, and we're going to need to be really careful with that. In addition to that, we're then going to have reinforcements come up. We can have up to 3 corps in reinforcements. We obviously only have the ability to start building a 3rd Corps, so we could have part of a 3rd Corps. So that means we could bring totally about 62,000 men to the field if we needed to. We have about 50,000 men, which I think is roughly what the Confederacy had historically. But this is a really, if I remember correctly, this was a battle that I won in the game, or maybe won as a draw. I didn't win. I managed a draw in my first time through when the game was still in early access. I was all but destroyed. I just sort of had a sneaky tactic along the ridge that allowed me to take the objective right before time expired, but I was beaten every sense. More than 90% of my army was destroyed. This was one of those games, especially before they really toned down the amount of charging that went on in the game, was one of those games where it felt like the enemy was charging you forever and they would never stop, and they had overwhelming numbers and they just meleeed you to death. So we'll see how this has changed since the latest update, but that will actually be a story for the next video. With that being said, guys, we won the Battle of Manassas Depot. As I've already said, the next battle up is Second Bull Run or Second Manassas, and we'll get to that in our next video. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts as always, and until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.